Here we go. Here we go. What was that? It's the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey, here in the Recap Studios. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's all brought to you by our fine folks at Hooters, originalhooters.com, to find one of the 11 Chicagoland area locations nearest you. Appreciate you guys being here. The chat's already full. The Bears schedule is out. We got a lot of stuff going on. Just wrapped up a White Sox recap podcast, a live edition with Brian Anderson. That's on the channel. We'll get to that in a little bit. We have some really cool content live on the channel right now, including our guy Tyson Beant was in here yesterday. Really good stuff from Tyson Beant, talking about what's different with the Bears now with Ben Johnson in tow, Caleb Williams, his relationship with him, how he expects him to explode. And, of course, the NFL schedules have been released. The Bears schedule is out. It's the second toughest schedule in the NFL. Week 1, we know they're opening on Monday Night Football against the Vikings. Record predictions, everybody's doing them. And I feel like I've seen a lot of predictions out there, 10-7, 11-6. And I'm going, I don't know. Like, I don't feel, call me pessimistic, and I'm usually a pretty optimistic guy. But we're going to get to this right here. Let's get to all your comments. Appreciate everybody that's coming in. Becky, would you be fine if the Cubs went 4-2 on the homestand? 100%. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you guys, and I bet it yesterday with Chef Paul right here on this program, the White Sox are winning a game this weekend. I'm telling you, they are winning a game. Shane Smith, Sean Burke, and Jonathan Cannon, the starters, the White Sox starters, have been good. Today they're down 4-0. Bryce Wilson's kind of their spot starter. Not going well for them offensively as we speak, but I do expect the White Sox to get a win. So 4-2, I think you always got to expect to have a winning homestand when you're the Cubs. 3-3, then I think you're disappointed. I don't think you should be disappointed at all. Maybe about the lack of offensive production in yesterday's game. That could be something you could be concerned about. Breck, how about the news of Caleb Williams looking at all options to not go to the Bears and sign in the UFL? Also, the Rockies lost. Officially the worst start in modern baseball. What a time to be alive. Appreciate you taking the baton, Breck, from the White Sox this year. The news about Caleb Williams. So Breck is talking about a report that came out today that there's a new book. Let me get it right here. There is a new book out where Caleb Williams sought to go anywhere but Chicago. Okay. The book, Chicago is the place where quarterbacks go to die. This is a quote from Carl Williams, his dad, from the author of American Kings, a biography of a quarterback. This was the months leading up to the 2024 draft. Caleb Williams wondered aloud to confidants, do I want to go there? I don't think I can do it with Shane Waldron. Well, no shit. It didn't work out. And the good thing for the Bears is that they fired that guy mid-season, and then they fired the guy who hired him, and Matt Eberflus, because he didn't want his offensive coordinator to have a bigger spotlight than him. Then you shouldn't be a head coach in the NFL, and it's why you're the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. And I hope Caleb Williams runs it up in week 3 at home against Dallas. First of all, everyone does. America's team. You can have them, put them on the Spotlight National game. Even Breck Bear is a Bears fan that day. There's not a person out there outside of Dallas that wants the Bears to lose that football game. There's all kinds of stuff in this book. Carl Williams went to great lengths to try to circumvent the NFL draft, wanting his son to choose his future employer a la Eli Manning. And back in the day of the Phillip Rivers draft, the Bears had not drafted a star quarterback since the 80s, and the recent draft selections of Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields didn't pan out. Carl Williams was worried that with the franchise's history, stadium uncertainty, and offensive performances under then head coach Matt Eberflus, that Caleb wouldn't have the organizational support to succeed. I don't want my son playing for the Bears, that he told several agents. Well, here's what I get to tell you. That article's on ESPN.com. Hey, Carl, you lost. Because Caleb Williams, no matter how you tried to circumvent the NFL draft, he still ended up in Chicago with Matt Eberflus, with Shane Waldron. I bet Carl Williams is feeling pretty damn good today, though, isn't he? Don't you think? Because to his credit, I'm with you. You're a parent. You never stop trying to put your child in the best possible situation. So as a dad, I can relate to that. But at the end of the day, this isn't the NIL. This isn't college where your coach leaves and you pack up your suitcase and follow him from Oklahoma to USC to wherever else you want to go because you're not getting what you want. And the NFL isn't like that. You might think you can circumvent and navigate elsewhere, but at the end of the day, the Bears drafted you 1-1. And good for Ryan Poles, by the way, for not getting knocked off course if that's who the guy he wanted. I'm all about, if you look in the mirror and you have conviction in the morning, I go back to Ryan Pace. He woke up that day and said Mitch Trubisky had to be his. He even traded up for it. He woke up and said, there's no scenario today that I can live without that guy. And he traded for him. That's the only thing I'll give him credit for. I'm okay with conviction. I'm glad Breck brought this up right out of the gate. I'm okay with the conviction. I'm not okay with the pick. It's a bad evaluation. You didn't even bring in Deshaun Watson for dinner, which obviously that looks like it worked out, but not in the interim. And it just didn't work out with Mitch Trubisky. I think finally the marriage here is good. You got the hot head coach everyone wanted, a guy who did wonders offensively across the board in Detroit. Even when they took over that team and they were 3-13-1, Ben Johnson took a team that I think it was ranked 27th in scoring and it put him into the top 10 in year one. So let's see what happens. He had a veteran quarterback. This is quarterback in year 2 of a new system. Let's see what happens. Becky wants to know if you're a Rockies fan, Breck Bear, and Breck Bear chimes in quite frankly that he's a Rockies fan for life. And Becky, I'll go one step further. In 2007, when the Rockies made the World Series, I called my guy Breck Bear. I made a few connections, and we got World Series tickets. I flew out to Denver. Now, they got swept, but they went to the World Series. It's the only time the World Series has been played in Denver. And we went to Game 4, myself. I'm calling him my dad, too. He's like my second father, and his brother. And the 4 of us went and saw the Red Sox win the World Series. Phil, bad loss yesterday. Time to regroup and sweep the White Sox. I don't see it happening. I'm looking forward to the pizza that Chef Paul's going to owe me because I think the White Sox are winning a game against the Cubs. Who cares about the Rockies? They'll lose 100 games this year. Easy, Becky. Don't shit on people who are fans of different teams around here. Phil, I'm a little worried about this offense till Hap comes back. Tyo needs to stop giving up home runs. Hey, Breck's definitely not going to be if you're looking for Breck to hop on board with what everybody else is doing, you got the wrong dude. It's probably why he's one of my best friends in the world. You know, it's because if you're going to zig, we're probably going to zag. Becky, a lot of your comments have worried next to them. You shouldn't be worried. You're in first place. Don't be worried about the Cardinals. You weren't worried about them 2 weeks ago. Ebbs and flows. Coors has been called the Wrigley of the West. They have I think it's called the Rock Pile. It's like $5. You go out in center field and it's just a big bar area. Not a bad idea for a team that's looking like they could be historically bad. Eric, my man, I saw the schedule for the Bears. My prediction is 10 wins. You guys ready for my prediction? I have 8. I've been saying 10 wins. I think they're going 8-9. And I'm okay with that because I'm sick of coming out here saying they're 12-5 and they go 5-12. That's a tough schedule. Minnesota at Detroit, Dallas at Vegas. Vegas is going to be full of Bears fans. The tickets to get there are already absolutely asinine. Brian Flores is still the defensive coordinator in Minnesota. Week 1's going to be that's going to be fun. You're going division at Detroit. You think they're going to be amped up in week 2 to see Ben Johnson and company come rolling in? That's going to be fun. I want the Bears to win that game against Dallas. I think it's kind of that Dallas and Vegas, you have to have one of those. They could start 0-2. Washington out of the bye. Let's see how the Bears handle it out of the bye. You got to beat the Saints. Back-to-back against Baltimore and Cincinnati is very tough. You got to beat the New York Football Giants here. Brendan, that was a week off of Monon, by the way. The week right before it. Then you go at Minnesota. You got to split, so you got to win the first game. I think you got to go 2-2 in the first 4. Pittsburgh here, I think you have to win it. Then you go at Philly on Black Friday. Not great. At Green Bay after that. Cleveland, you got to. What I do like, I like how the schedule ends. 3 out of 4 at home. You get Cleveland in December. You get Green Bay here in December. You do go out to San Francisco, who's got the second easiest schedule, I think. And then Detroit is playing 7 true road games outdoors. I think Detroit's going to take a step back this year. We'll see. Eric says the Cubs offense needs to wake up and hurry. Otherwise, we all know what will happen at the end of the season. You guys and your panic, I'm worried about you all. I really am concerned. I wish the White Sox were in first place and had issues like every flipping first place team. If we go up and down the entire standings of first place of Major League Baseball, Yankees have problems. The Detroit Tigers right now, you can make an argument that they're the best team in baseball. And matter of fact, they would like to have that argument because they have the best record in all of baseball. But from a starting staff, a bullpen, and offensively, they're starting to put it together. They're scary. They have a plus 86 run differential already right now. And they're playing in a division that is really good. The AL Central, very good. 4 teams over 500. Seattle's got problems. The Mets have a few problems. Cubs have problems. Dodgers have problems. Padres have problems. Those will all be fixed in some way or other come the deadline. Here to continue the Sox at Soldier Field discussion, Tom was with us for the White Sox Recap podcast and said, why don't the White Sox take over Soldier Field if the Bears go to Arlington Heights? I'm trying to tell him that the White Sox aren't going to build a stadium that they don't own. And I saw your comment after we signed off that said, you don't have to rebuild the stadium. When you reconfigure a stadium, I'll bring up Turner Field in the 90s again after the Olympics, where they reconfigured it and made it a baseball park. It took like 2 years for that to happen. You're tearing parts of a stadium down to reconfigure to make baseball work. You're going to tear down parts of that stadium so you can see the skyline. You're going to have to push out, build back, build up, take out seats. It's not happening. They don't own the ballpark. If they're not owning it, why would any team in modern day build a stadium that they don't own? This is not the 1990s, 1980s. You got to own the stadium. It doesn't make sense to the value of your franchise. Can we talk about the Caleb Williams article? Jay, I already did, but I'll bring it up again. It's an article this is one of those, like, that Caleb's going to have to address this. He will. I'm convinced he will in the OTAs. It's a year old. It's prior to the draft, and the story's coming out today. It's an author looking to sell books. Who gives a damn if Carl Williams tried to circumvent the NFL draft? At the end of the day, this would be a story to me if Caleb Williams was not drafted by the Bears. Then it would be a story. Caleb Williams was drafted by the Bears. Carl Williams couldn't circumvent. He couldn't bend the rules. He couldn't get his guy to go anywhere else. Because as I've said, this is NFL. This is not NIL. Just like Shedeur Sanders. You can't go into a meeting and dictate the rules. Not going to happen. Not the league. No one gives a care or a damn what you did or didn't do in college and how much money you did or didn't make. It's been like that forever and always. And the one thing, as much as I believe NIL needs to be regulated, I do believe at the end of the day, the NFL is king. Look at Quinn Ewers, the 7th round pick of the Miami Dolphins. He was making a ton of money NIL-wise from Texas. Now he's a 7th round pick. He's guaranteed nothing. Shedeur Sanders, guaranteed like a base salary of $100,000. Okay? It's not the same. It's not your dad's. This is not it. It's at the end of the day, the NFL is still the NFL. Oilers are on fire, on to the Western Conference Finals. Leafs are done. Jets extend to 6. Canes send the Caps home. Any news on it's like crickets on the Hawks coaching search. I'm looking forward to getting my guy Pat Boyle on here when the Hawks make a head coach decision, because I want you guys to fire questions at him. And I have some questions for him too about what the plan is for the Blackhawks. Clyde has his Bears at 9-8 or 10-7. Head coach just got here in Caleb's second year. And it's the second toughest schedule in the league. There's some really true tough road games there. I'm going to say 8-9, and that might disappoint people. Let's hope it's anything better than what I'm saying. I think 8.5 is a good win, is a good over-under total for the Bears, because you can make an argument either way. After how they control things after the bye, and it's an early bye after 4 games, kind of could dictate things. Remember, the Bears were 4-2 last year after the London game, and then they just fell on their face from there with the Hail Mary and everything that happened before that. Becky is so worried about the Cubs. Becky, how are you going to be in 4th place? The Cubs are better than the Brewers. They're better than the Reds. The White Sox have taken 2 out of 3 from the Reds. The Pirates are awful. The Pirates are a half game better than the White Sox. Will you guys stop worrying? The White Sox aren't doing well today. No, but the Reds are really good, and the Sox took 2 out of 3. I understand. I'm watching the game too. They are being no hit. I think that's everyone's panic levels I'm concerned about. Definitely concerned about the panic levels across the board. Beware of TB17. I blocked that punk. Appreciate you, Ravi. I think you're talking to us. You are. You're talking to Becky. TB17, whoever he is, I'll be looking for him. Will the Cardinals come crashing down to earth? Well, we know they're not going to win 10 games in a row multiple times in a season. I'll put that on record. I need you guys to take a breath. You know what I think I need you guys to do? You probably got to belly up and find a Big Daddy mug at Hooters, our sponsor of this fine program. Here, the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff every day, Monday through Friday at 12:30. They're the best. You guys need to belly up, get some tender tacos with the mango habanero, maybe get the drink of the month, the refreshing, the colorful Paloma, $8 all month long at one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you, originalhooters.com, in case you're still looking for the closest one. Or maybe you're looking for one that requires a little bit of a poke, an Uber ride or a drive. That's fine too. I like mixing and matching and figuring out a new place to go grease the elbows with a Pablo. Grease the elbow with a real Phil Simms. By the way, June 25th, Cap and I will be there for a Cubs watch party, an NBA draft watch party at Hooters O'Hare. We'll have a promo for that as we get closer to that about 6 weeks from now. You guys know the McGuffies like to polish off the meal with the cinnamon pretzel bites. They're absolute fantastic, and I like to wash it down with the Big Daddy mug full of summer shandy, Blue Moon, or Dos Equis. Back to the program. Appreciate you, Hooters. Big fans. I'm probably going to get some today. By the way, originalhooters.com and order.hooters.com if you want to pick up Hooters to go. The Bears schedule really tough, D. Yeah, no doubt. It is the second toughest in the NFL. Wayne, great interview with Tyson Beant. Tyson Beant here in the studio yesterday. He was fantastic. We went about a half hour. By the way, all of you who have kids in 6th through 12th grade, he is doing a camp next Friday at Glenbrook North. Very cool opportunity. There's a QR code. All the information is in the interview with Tyson Beant here on the channel. It's a very minimal donation, and my son went to it last year. It's bigger and better this year. Very cool opportunity to do a camp, offensive skills camp with one of the Chicago Bears, and he is very involved in it. He will be rubbing elbows with the kids out there. It's really cool. Under the lights, Friday Night Lights. I think it's 7 to 9:30 next Friday night. Check out the interview here on the channel. Anybody on here notice the Cubs always seem to lose before an off day? Again, you win 2 out of 3 every time, folks. That's 67% of your games. You're going to win 95 games. You're going to go to the playoffs. I'm concerned about the health and panic of all of you. Becky's definitely panicking, and I'm worried about her. Swayze, the Bears' schedule is an absolute gauntlet this year, and Caleb has a hot spotlight on him. I'm worried he might get overwhelmed with the attention. Let me tell you something, Swayze. If Caleb gets overwhelmed, then that's on him, and it's not the guy that we thought we were drafting at 1-1. Because look at the spotlight and the situation, etc., that Jaden Daniels ended up getting for himself with the way they were playing. They kept going up. His play kept getting better. They went to the NFC title game. He never panicked, never got overwhelmed with the attention. I don't think the attention overwhelms Caleb at all. I'm to the belief that I actually think they got this one right. I think Caleb's going to have a huge year. But if we're worried about him being overwhelmed, then we got the wrong guy. Wayne, great interview with Tyson. Sounds like he's happy to be the backup for now. Hopefully one day he'll get a shot. I think that Tyson Beant will be a starting quarterback in the NFL at some point. I don't think there's any question about that. I think the Bears probably get an extension done with him. Maybe one of those sneaky extension candidates before the season, because this is the final year of his deal. Remember, he was an undrafted free agent. Not having happened, the lineup, Becky, definitely hurts. And Dansby Swanson's not a leadoff hitter. Guys, Dansby Swanson's hitting like 360 in May. So let's cool the Jets. Let me just pull that up. You guys are talking about a leadoff hitter. PCA did fine the other day as a leadoff hitter. I'm going to select May. I want to let you guys know what our guy Dansby Swanson is hitting this month. Dansby Swanson is hitting 364, which is 14th best in all of baseball in the month of May. His 16 hits ranked 20th. The guy has actually been a really good baseball player again in the month of May. Lip Ripper, I find myself enjoying Sox games. There's nothing wrong with that, my friend, because the White Sox have been a lot of fun because of who has been producing. Any news about tomorrow at Wrigley? I'll be doing the show tomorrow, hopefully from Wrigley. I don't know if I'll be able to do it from the field, but I do plan on going out there tomorrow morning and getting some sound and talking to some of the players. Tom, you're enjoying because you're betting against them. I don't think Lip Ripper's a Sox guy. I think I understand what he's saying. Sox might actually sweep the Cubs. BA predicted that on the Sox podcast. I think, by the way, he was not drunk. I think it's a bold prediction. But last night I had the Sox money line. There you go, Tom, saying that he's betting against them, because if he's been betting against them 4 of the last 5 nights, he's been losing. Catching a game at Coors Field is on the bucket list, Jimmy. I've definitely done it. It's awesome with the Rocky Mountains behind you. Sean, rematch of Jaden versus Caleb week 6 on Monday night. Jimmy, doesn't it always seem sunnier and brighter at Coors Field? 300 plus days of sun will do that to you, my friend Jimmy. The Cubs will fix their issues at the deadline. I think they're going to be big players. Wayne, even with a new coach and staff and added talent, especially to the line, you have 8 wins. What the hell, Guff? Hey, isn't it better to be wrong in this case? Isn't it better to have 11 wins? I do think that they're going to be better. I do. I still have questions, and I think some reservations. And because of that, I'm going 8 wins. I am. It's a hard schedule. They're going to win a game they're not supposed to. They're going to lose a game they're not supposed to. Let's see what they do in between. The beers are colder as well. Jimmy, that's why they are still drawing $27,000 a game, best bar in Denver. Breck is right. Got to get out there for another game. We got to do a doubleheader. We do Coors Field on a Saturday and then Broncos on a Sunday. Commanders are getting the draft and a new stadium. Yes, they are. I did hear the Rick Hahn interview, Eric. It was fantastic. Rick was great, kind of a natural in that environment, even though if it makes him a little uncomfortable. Exchanged a text or two with my guy yesterday because I thought he was fantastic, and good for MLB Network for landing him. Just need to make the drive one weekend. Make it happen. Why can't the Sox in Chicago come to an agreement on selling or even co-owning Soldier Field? Why would the Park District sell their portion of it? They get all of the gate of all the outside events not named Chicago Bears. Any concert, anything they get, soccer, whatever, they get the gate, the merch, the concessions. I ain't giving that up. Guff, next time you're at Hooters, order some Bears Kool-Aid, brother. I'm all for it, Wayne. I'm all for people not liking my win prediction. That's okay. Hey, start 4-0 and make me feel good. There's nothing I want more than the Bears to be 12-5, Caleb to throw for 5,000 yards, and for us to say shove it to everybody, okay? Including Carl Williams, tried to get the Bears out of Chicago, or Caleb out of Chicago originally, not now. On the Bears, which game do you think the Bears are supposed to lose but could win? All right, I'll give you a couple. Supposed to lose but could win. Maybe one of those Baltimore-Cincinnati games. I think I'm curious about what Trey Hendrickson could do. Maybe the Cincinnati game feels like it. Maybe like to me right now on paper feels like a lose and they win. Or at Green Bay, can they do that again? I think the 3 that I'll pick for that category, supposed to lose and win: Cincinnati, at Green Bay, at San Francisco. Those will be the 3. Backup quarterback whisperer. Really good Bajan interview. Do you think he does get traded sometime this year? How likely? He's way better than anyone in New Orleans. I do think he's a good option for New Orleans. I think the Bears realize how lucky they are to have him too. And I think that they're more likely to extend him than they are the other way around. So unless somebody calls and says, we're going to offer you a 2nd or 3rd rounder for him, I don't think so. I think he's here for now to stay. Start bench cut. What happens this weekend? Cubs take 2 out of 3. Sox take 2 out of 3. Sox sweep. Yeah, Pablo, I'm probably riding that same train, my friend. Cubs take 2 out of 3. Bench Sox take 2 out of 3. I'll take a Sox sweep, though. Eric, you know what? I'm going to take a step back regarding the Cubs. They are exceeding expectations better than I expected at least a quarter into the season. Hey, there we go. King. Guff, the future mayor of Chicago. Is that a job I want? Appreciate that. Tell me why I shouldn't be overly concerned with Tucker in a bit of a slump. I feel like he's been lingering for a while. I'll say don't be overly concerned because look at the back of his baseball card. He's routinely been one of the top 10, 12 best hitters in the game his entire career. So yes, while he's mired in a slump, I don't expect that to be anything that should trip him up this entire season. I'll give the Bears 10 if they can swing a deal for Trey. They can make some noise with him aboard, but we'll see. Well, if they swing a deal for him, I might change my mind on my win total. So just saying. Commanders getting the draft in 2027, also a new stadium in 2030. We've already had the draft here twice, and the Bears will get a new stadium. Good for the Commanders. That's kind of how I say. Oh, boy, Becky getting some anxiety meds. Come on, D. She's nervous, but maybe I don't want to medicate her unless she needs it. Commanders have 6 primetime games. They earned them, Sean. Who cares? The Bears have 5. All right. David, any chance of you and Cap coming to the Portage Hooters? Well, that would be some kind of homecoming for me, David. Quite a poke for us, but I don't want to rule it out. I'd have to ask Hooters. They pick the locations, and we kind of follow them. But that would be awesome. Maybe one day I can get to the Portage Hooters. We could do some type of viewing party. Like I said, it would be one hell of a homecoming for me. Hate that they have the early bye again. I wish it's in the middle of the year. Yeah, Thomas, but they're not the only team that's dealing with that. If Bejan has arm strength, he started 4 games and went 2-2 and looked really good in the games 2 years ago. He's got the arm strength. Trust me. Tyson Bejan's going to be a starter in the NFL. I feel really good about that. And Chicago loves a backup QB. In the interview, I flat out tell him no one loves an athlete in Chicago more than we love the backup QB. Okay, next week you'll be out of town, but in Indiana, Becky, you're going to be even closer. You'll be even closer to the program. Let's get to the bet of the day. All right, so we're in a little 2-game slump. It happens on the bet of the day. That's what happens. Can't put the Aviators on. Luis Robert goes up. Oh, he just had a home run. He missed. Luis Robert nearly robbed the home run. It would have been a hell of a catch. He's pissed. Went off his glove into the stands, and it goes as a home run. Bet of the day. Well, okay. I thought the Knicks were going to take care of business last night. Instead, they let the Celtics dictate from the opening tip. And Jalen Brunson got in foul trouble. And I told you I was going to ladder him. He still finished with 22 points. And it just didn't get it done. He was in foul trouble in the third quarter. I think he had 5 fouls at one point. Going to go back to the NBA tonight where the Thunder, and Breck knows where I'm living here, by the way. I hope the Nuggets win by 40. Chet Holmgren might be my least favorite player in the NBA too, but it is what it is. He has been a rebound machine in this series. I like the plus money here. Chet Holmgren's rebounds this series, 8, 13, 16, 11, 6. Okay, so game 1, game 5, 6 and 8. I think it's time for him to go back to those double digits again. I'm getting even money on 9.5 rebounds. Time to turn the tide around, get back onto our winning ways. I'm going 9.5 rebounds. Eric, you come to Portage and I'm there, Guff. You better round up the troops, Eric, because if I'm coming to Portage, I can tell you one thing right now. I'm not coming back to Chicago that night. At least that night, I'm not coming back to Chicago. Do the Knicks win tomorrow? They better hope so. You don't, because all the pressure would be on them, period. All the pressure's on the Knicks. For sure. Broski, great interview with Tyson Beant. I don't do baseball or basketball, so I haven't been around lately. All good, man. Appreciate you watching the channel. Cap's win total, his schedule recap is on the channel. He has the Bears at 10. I have the Bears at 8. Sean, I'm a Commanders fan. For the reason I said that is because Eagles fans are complaining about it. Whatever. Eagles won the Super Bowl. They have nothing to complain about. So that's our bet of the day. We're going Chet Holmgren over 9.5 rebounds at plus 100. We have a ton of content. Yesterday alone, we had the lunch hour, the rush hour, Sox recap, Cubs recap, Bear schedule recap, and an interview with Tyson Beant that went out early this morning. We have a White Sox recap podcast that just published right before I came on here to do the lunch hour. So take a listen to that as we give you thoughts on the recent good play of the Chicago White Sox. A lot of stuff. Just, it's that time of year. Time to stir the pot. A lot of stuff going. Clyde, I sure do. I love ending it by Clyde telling me I ignore him when I've already read 2 of his flippant comments on the show today. Come on, Clyde. You're absolutely better than that. Enjoy. It's supposed to touch 90 today. We're next to nothing because Chicago gets 4 seasons all at once. I'm Ryan McGuffey, and thank you, Lip. Appreciate you, my friend. I'm Ryan McGuffey. This has been one more in great. Yeah, the back. Guys, check out the interview with Tyson Beant. Let me check it out real quick. It's doing really well on the channel. Yeah. A lot of people loving the Tyson Beant interview. It's coming up on 10,000 views. A lot of people. So check it out on the channel. Really good stuff with Tyson. Enjoy your day. Take care. Hey, get outside, man. Whether you're in Oklahoma, Denver, Gary, Chicago, wherever you're watching. I know Lips in Florida. He's been outside for 4 months already. Appreciate all of you guys so much. We'll wrap it up tomorrow. It's the Crosstown Classic. The first version of the Crosstown Classic at Wrigley Field starts tomorrow. I will be out there. I will figure it out. Go touch some grass, nerds. I love Breck so much. It's awesome. Supposed to snow in Chicago. You never know, Thomas, around here. It's been the Recap Lunch Hour, brought to you by our fine folks at Hooters. Go to originalhooters.com. Find one of the 11 Chicago area locations near you. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Let's get some wins. Sox are going to lose today. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.